It's November 20th. I just was watching the first part of a two-part talk by David Ebert on Heidegger's Intro to Metaphysics. And John brought up, in order to better elaborate Heidegger's perspectives, the term identity and what makes things exist. And he went right to a key idea that I realized when I was reading Spengler. Spengler had this term ent, E-N-T, capital E-N-T, and I couldn't wrap my head around just what Spengler was using it as, and I reread it, and I came to understand that ent was somehow related to entity, and I think it was in relationship to the Greeks and the Greek sculpture, and how that which was outside of what could be seen immediately in their environment didn't have existence. It didn't exist. And it came to my conception, that my understanding that a thing that exists has to have identity. And then I thought, well, identity, identify. We have to identify a thing with something. For something to have an identity, we have to identify with it, and we have to identify something with it. And then that helped elaborate what small studies I've done in psychology about how a thing can mean one thing to someone and another thing to someone else. Everything can have a different meaning. And David Ebert goes into things that exist and things that don't exist, something and nothing. And all of this was remedial for me because I had gone through it in my mind somewhat. But though Heidegger's conceptions and the way John describes them, I enjoy very much because it gives me an object lesson. But the reason why an object lesson is so important for me is that I then have an example of identity. And then he goes into talking about, in his studies, we're in a certain phase of development where things are losing their identity. We don't identify with things. And I was speaking to a friend the other day about this, that yeah, everything is moving so quickly. And I realized just now, today, this is why I'm doing the talk, this journal entry, that my life has always been a very fast-paced change. And in these changing, fast-paced changes, I do not over-invest in any one particular identification with a thing.